Friends, welcome to Basic English class for second semester of BCom, BBM and BHM. Today we shall discuss another component in grammar, that is degrees of comparison. It will make a good exercise as we solve it. Degrees of comparison refers to a grammar component in English in which when we try to compare two things, or when we want to state an object or person in itself, or when we want to state a person or object as the best or highest in quality, then arises this exercise or this type of reference called degrees of comparison. So, an adjective of quality changes its form when it is used to compare one noun with another, or one object with another. So what changes in all these three degrees is the adjective. You may know adjective is a part of speech that qualifies a noun on the grounds of quality or quantity. See, when we say a blackboard, black here is the adjective because it signifies what type of board it is. Board is the noun and black is what signifies its color. Right, in the same way, red signal. Signal is a noun, and what type of signal? Red signal. So this is how a word that qualifies a noun with its quality or number is adjective. Therefore, when we change degrees from positive to comparative or comparative to positive, super or even superlative or vice versa, this adjective and its form changes. Now that's what you should make a note of. Fine. Now to talk about degrees of comparison, there are three degrees of comparison. The first one, positive degree, where there is no comparison between objects or persons. Comparative degree, yes, as the word itself suggests, there is comparison. So comparison arises when there are more than one person or object. Superlative degree is what qualifies an object or a person as the best or the highest without any comparison. So this is how we have three degrees of comparison: positive, comparative and superlative. In the exam, you will be given a sentence in positive and you will be asked to change it to either comparative or superlative, or a sentence may be given in comparative or superlative and you will be asked to change it to any of the other two degrees. So first let us consider some examples and then discuss how to change the degrees from positive to comparative and then superlative or vice versa. So this diagram again depicts there are three degrees of comparison. So what is positive degree? Positive degree is used to refer to one object, person or place without making any comparison. Yes, so positive, of course, we refer to an object or a person without any comparison. For example, she has a big house. So please correct that article. She has a big house. Now this sentence talks about only one person and what that person has: a big house. Now here again note the adjective house. What type of house? Big house. And the next one, comparative degree, refers to a greater degree of adjective as compared to the positive degree. Fine, now comes the comparison. It is used to compare two objects or people or places. For example, now let us consider the same example as in the case of the positive degree. Her house is bigger than my house. Now there are two persons here, her and my. There are two persons and two houses in comparison. Her house is bigger than my house, right? So when the comparison comes, then we have to use comparative degree. And superlative is used to compare more than two objects, but to qualify one as the greatest degree with the adjective. So here is the example, the same example, how we can change it into superlative. Read it as her house is the biggest of all. Now that's what qualifies. Among all the houses, her house or his house is the biggest. Okay, so let us consider how we change a positive sentence into comparative sentence. Fine. Now look at this. She has a big house. Okay, and we bring in another person for comparison now. Her house is bigger than. Now here the word in positive is big. Now it is made bigger than. Now while we compare, these are the changes we need to make and ensure. See, the word big adjective, it can be used as bigger in comparison, and another word to add here is bigger than. Okay, bigger than my house. And in superlative degree, see, the same word which was big in positive, bigger than in comparative, and now the biggest in superlative, right? Her house or his house is the is what qualifies the adjective as the greatest or biggest or highest, right? I hope you follow. Her house or his house is the biggest of all. Of all qualifies many people, not two. And let us consider again the rules for using degrees. We add er or est to most one, means to say most of the adjectives or two-syllable words that end in consonants. Consider a few more examples. Look at this adjective: tall, taller, tallest. See how the adjective changes its form. In positive it is tall, taller, er. Taller, we can say, is taller than any other boy in the class. So positive, he is a tall boy. In comparative, he is taller than any other boys in the class. Superlative, he is the tallest of all. So this is how adjectives needs to be changed or used in their comparative and superlative forms while we change the degrees of comparison. When the positive ends in E, we add only R and ST to the adjective. For example, look at this. In the case of large, how this adjective is changed. Larger, er, and that's how is the formation of that word. Large, larger, largest. So observe these changes, and not all the words can be changed in this way. There are some irregular adjectives. For example, beautiful. Now we cannot change it into beautiful, beautifuler, and beautifulest. No. In that case, beautiful, more beautiful, most beautiful. That's how words change. But before that, let's consider regular type of adjectives and look at this. Lucky, luckier, and luckiest. The students, for this you must have the knowledge of these adjectives. Okay. Now, when the positive is a word of one syllable and ends in a vowel plus consonant, we double the ending, as in the case of red, redder, reddest. Right. And when we cannot change a word with er and or re or st, useful. As I gave you one example earlier, beautiful, more beautiful, most beautiful. In the same way, useful cannot be changed into usefuler and usefulest. No, useful is considered as more useful in comparative, and in superlative most useful. Okay. And look at these irregular degrees of comparison, that is adjective. Good, better, best. Okay. So in comparative degree we use word with er or re or more plus than, and in superlative we use the qualifier, determiner, and word in superlative, the st. That's how you can remember the and st, the word in its superlative form. Look at this, another example. Ravi is shorter than Ritesh. There is comparison between two persons, Ritesh and Ravi. So Ravi is shorter. Look at that adjective. Short, shorter, shortest. Shorter than er and then. This is how it qualifies as comparative. Satish is the shortest boy in his class. Satish is the shortest. In superlative we are using the, and then the adjective short in its superlative form, that is st, with st, shortest. Okay. So this is how there are rules to change sentences from positive to comparative and then superlative. With this, let's call it a day, and we'll continue the same in next class. Thank you.